about to hook up with our sis, our friend, our supporter, his family.
Talk that shit.
You know what I'm saying? Real Talk Podcast with the Twinz, Celebritybarberrahim.
Homie, Twinerprise.
I know what it is, Underworld Mobile
.com.
We about to just hit up, see what's going on, see what's on our chest, on our brain. Maybe we can come up with some solutions to these problems, you know what I mean? And touch on some hot topics and just see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And just follow our journey and just welcome to our world and welcome to our hood. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
We riding. We outside.
About to pull up.
You might see somebody dribbling a basketball. You might see somebody getting a haircut. You might see somebody, I don't know. But you're going to see somebody. We out here, man.
I had my Snoop suit. I was gonna wear my Snoop printed one. I was like,
one of the originators, right?
I know what it
here,
is, Celebritybarberrahim.
Your homie Twinerprise.
Real Talk Podcast, you know what I'm saying? Right now we got like a real special guest. You know what I'm saying? A real friend, a motivator, supporter,
A homie, a sister,
community
you know what I'm saying?
leader, you know what I'm saying?
Someone who's connected to the community, someone who's from the community.
Someone
you know
who loves the community.
and these dudes gave me the game and said who to stay away from, and I stayed away.
Stayed away.
And I paved my own way, and I never conformed to the system of what they wanted me to be.
We got Amber Sloan. You know what I'm saying? Amber, I want you to tell the people why it's so important to just stay connected to the community you're from.
Cause, like for instance, I tragic situation with Lil Day Day. I look at that situation like we kind of failed him. So when I look at him, I look at me. You know, growing up, like
Right.
I used to hang over. You know, Miss Gwen,
Yeah,
y'all
right.
grandmas go verandas. You know what I mean? Like I used to go to other places to eat. It wasn't like we were starving. It just like stuff wasn't right, and people didn't know. Like I was with the lights, gas, water, like going to school every day, still trying to be a hooper, but let me make some money over here.
Yeah, hell
And
of a
so
hooper.
for me, it's like I lost everything, but I didn't, because it made me come out of prison and be who I needed to be. Like I thought I should have went to college,
Yes.
but when I started realizing, like, man, I'm meeting up with my friends on at the same table, like. You just be yourself and you'll get there. And so like my story was unique and it was supposed to be.
Yes,
you know, every now and then we got a person come out the neighborhood that could have been something,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
fucked up their life, and then they come back and they change it.
But it's
they made
still
a
good.
change,
Yeah,
so
right.
it's not really
And
fucked
move
up. You know
forward,
what
to
I'm
keep
saying?
it moving
I
forward,
don't really
you know what I'm
think it's
No,
fucked up.
it's beauty, 'cause
I think
now look at
mature
it.
now. Like it's a mature
And I
level.
realized, like, even with the way I, you know what I mean, like I used to come hard at the people. Like I had to realize, like, I already got all the plugs everywhere. There's not a person I can't contact in the state. So I was like, I gotta fight different, because if I want to get in these spaces and be like, because I'm going to get a job, I ain't going to tell y'all what with college, and I'll be getting re-entry people coming out of jail, and I'll be connecting them through this college, because they need to put
more black people.
So if I calm down some and I let people, like, I'm not just an activist, dog.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
Everybody be like activist, like I'm a hero.
Yes.
I'm a ghetto hero.
Yes.
You know what I
You
mean?
somebody
voice.
from the hood, from the trenches, like so.
That's been there.
I
and
guess they
trying to
call
make
that
a
an
change.
activist.
Yeah,
Someone
but
that's from
and
the
no,
trenches,
because when I
you know
was
what I'm
doing the Antoine Roads and all that, but like nobody never looked at MADE and was like, what do MADE really mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's an acronym. And
Right.
It means making alternative decisions
Right.
effectively impacting change.
Make it to 16, make it to 21.
Yeah,
Like, you know
So
what I'm saying?
like for me, I kind of made it so if I made it and I get in these spaces, these people can be like, oh yo, she could get us this. Oh, here they got this going up here, or huh? You know what I mean? Because we don't. There's some people in these rooms that won't bring the
But
resources
when
back.
you
Yes,
say,
yes.
they
So I'm
know
not
they're
gonna-
going to believe it. They know you're going to bring back the resources.
You know what I mean?
I'm saying?
And that's why I wanted to do what I did for the kids. I wanted to show them, like, this is what y'all need to do. Y'all keep on having these meetings. These meetings, we pass meetings.
Past
Like,
meetings.
we
So-
got to get them kids up there like we did and let them speak. Let
So
them be heard.
basically, we need new things to happen. The old stuff's not gonna
It's
work.
not, man, they so
Old
traditional,
stuff's not gonna
bro.
Yeah.
Look,
Old
like, it's
not gonna work.
non-traditional. So the one lady came up to me, and she's a church lady, so I think she always looked at me differently. But she seen we was able to rally that up in 2 days. I mean, she was like, you know what, Amber? I said, what? She was like, you really do. I said, because I'm non-traditional.
Right.
Y'all got to move away from the traditional. You gotta listen to what they listen to.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean?
You gotta go where they go, be where they be,
You
do
gotta
what
go
they
in the
do.
trenches. Meet
Yeah,
me
you
in
gotta
the
go in the
trenches.
trenches. Meet me in the trenches.
I remember
not like this.
Yeah, because I remember my mom, she used to say, turn that shit down. And then one day, it took a while. Might have took a couple years. But one day I came in the crib and I heard one of my songs playing. And I go in there, my mom's crying. I'm like, yo, you crying, mom? She's like, nah, I just really got to sit down and listen to y'all music. Like, it really it makes sense. It's words. I didn't know y'all felt like that.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes...
That was your outlet.
Yes,
my
when we
outlet.
got shit on our
And
chest.
I know you got many
Mine was
outlets.
basketball. though.
And you was a hell of a basketball
Right,
player.
that was mine.
You
When
know
I
what
get
I'm
on the
saying?
court, it's like basketball. That's
Like,
what it's
so what
about.
did you do? Like, what position did you play when you did play basketball?
I played 3, 4, and 5. In my day, I was tall, but I don't think so. You know what I mean? Like, when I was in school, I was considered tall, but I jumped. I played for the legendary Coach Jones. You know what I mean? You can never, the mom of the house.
Shout out to Coach Jones.
So, changing women's lives every day. So,
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Not just
And-
her, you too.
Yeah,
You
she
know what I'm
stayed in, but she stayed in. A lot of people don't know why. She did all 14 years with me. She made
what's
sure
up.
I had the paper. She made sure I had $75
She
a
wasn't
month.
just a school teacher or a coach. She was a friend.
And she shared my
supporter.
story. Like,
Yeah,
y'all got
she
to know who
definitely
she
did.
is because I don't want y'all to. And so all the kids, that's why all the kids felt right in place. Like, they knew I was already.
Right.
Because of my
She
story.
had you connected already with the community.
Letting them know, like, this is what can happen to you if you take one wrong step. And this is what, you know
I don't know
what I
if
mean?
they heard us, but let them know where you grew up at. Like, where we at right
What
now?
part
Right
of
now,
Homewood?
we at the Y. This is where I learned. This is where the Y
This
was
is the
right
new
there.
Y. We
Yeah, this
had
the
the
new
old
Y. We had
Y
the
right
old Y
here.
right
Oh,
over
the
here.
old
So that's
Y.
where I picked up the ball with Coach Pearson. I think I was like 5 or 6, and we go to the Y. It was free back then. Go swimming
Hell
on the hill,
yeah.
and so that the trenches, the court, the basketball.
Yeah,
So that was
lot
it.
of
You know what I mean? That
games.
was the house, Bethesda. You know what I mean? I used to go to Bethesda and shoot on
Everybody
the third
went
floor.
to camp. Yeah, everybody
You know what I mean?
went to
Then
camp.
Vacation Bible School. And that
Everybody
was
went
Holy
there.
Rosary. You know what I mean?
Holy
So we
Road.
in the trenches in the heart of where we from.
know where we
you
at.
know
We
what I
in
mean?
Homewood, you know what I'm saying? And right now, we with Amber Sloan. It's the Twins. We about to touch on some things right now, you know what I'm saying? We just wanted to be up in the hood for a minute. Where we all originated from, you know what I mean? Where we got our heart, where we got our motivation, you know what I'm saying? Where we learned from
What
legends.
made us the men and the
You know what I'm
women that we
saying?
are today. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like,
They made me look. They came in with the Dickies. I was like, wait, because I had my little Snoop Dogg. So like,
hey,
I'm a word out,
when
but
we
then I
said
was
we
like, nah.
interviewing Amber, I said, yeah, we taking it to the hood.
Well, look, when we get you, I put my original hat where I never forget.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you always,
I told bro, I said, watch when we wear this. Amber like, damn, I want to go home and put my
Yeah,
shit
I
on.
did too. I was like,
But
wait
you
a minute.
already Homewood.
Yeah, I mean,
Every
I'm
time we
still
see Amber,
seasonal.
you Homewood. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't even got to wear
I
that.
never forget where I'm from.
Right,
even
but we
though-
don't even got to wear that. They know
And
where
that's
we
the
from.
part
You know
where
what I'm saying?
some people be like, why she represent that? Because why wouldn't I represent my culture
That's-
and where I come
you
from
made
and what
it.
made me?
If you
That's
made
my
it here,
story.
you made it here. You made
So
it
people be
anywhere.
like, why you, like, this is what it is.
That's what it
and
is.
you see you know what I mean? Like, I'm not active.
Mhm.
So it's the difference of being active and not active. So if you ain't active, it doesn't matter.
We still know what's going on in the trenches. Still got
And
our
still
ear
in 'em.
tuned in.
And when we get to the second half of this show, we're going to touch on a lot of topics that when we first talked to her in the beginning, you know what I'm saying, where she come from, where she ended up at, the different obstacles she had to take when she was inside, outside,
what she's
and
doing
back
now, what she's
outside,
about
you know
to
what I'm saying?
do. Just stay tuned.
It
y'all.
is.
Stay tuned.
You listening to Too Real with the Twins. And make sure y'all check out Dirty Birds Chicken in Pittsburgh. Let the good times roll with Dirty Birds. And a quick shout out to our friends over at the Homewood Youth Football and Cheer League. And if you want the Twins to shout out your business or service, go to the website underworldmobileservice.com and check out the sponsorship page. That's UNDA worldmobileservice.com. Now let's get back to the podcast.
Y'all know who it is, Celebrity Barber Rahim.
Your homie Twinerprise.
Real talk that shit with
Talk
the
that
twin.
shit.
We was touching on, her basketball, growing up in the community, in Homewood.
Her imprisonment, like a little bit of everything. Her being a woman just from the trenches, period. You know what I'm saying? I got my homegirl Amber. You know what I'm saying? And we going to just kick it off like this. You know what I'm saying? Like Amber.
We're
like,
here.
Tell the hood, tell the city, like, What do you really think the youth need out here? Like, for real, because it's so
A
much
voice. They need a voice in the air.
A voice in the air. You can't, you ain't never lied and
A
like,
voice in the air. That was proven Saturday.
yeah.
I done something that probably ain't been done and worked with them kids to get the media and work with those youth organizers from high school wanting to just be heard. So they want to be heard.
They want to be heard.
And it's mental health. If you really was listening to those kids,
Yeah.
they was really talking about, like, I'm 15 years old and this is my 3rd homicide in a year. Like, that's a lot.
That's a lot. Mental
Our
illness
first
is
one was
serious.
Chico.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he was 16, you know,
Mhm.
so like what they dealing with now, they be in middle school, elementary school. We wasn't used to that. It's just different.
Yeah, it's different. Mental illness is serious out here in our communities, and we got a lot of people who's facing that. You know what I'm saying? But it's really deep with the youth right now.
And adults, we gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop being scared of the youth. Being scared of the youth is always going to be trouble.
It defeats the purpose.
We have to communicate
You
with
got to
our
go in the
youth.
trenches. You
Got
got
to
go
be in the
find them.
trenches. Got to be in the bushes.
You
what
can't
we call
talk
it.
down and at them.
Yeah.
You got to talk to them. And
What
just because they speak on how they feel about something, it doesn't always make them, like, disrespectful.
Right.
Like, they should be able to have a voice to voice their concerns. For
Right.
so long, even with us growing up, we was really told not to talk unless told to talk to.
Exactly.
So you got these kids, like, so you listening to them deal with all this trauma, and, you know, like, everybody say Daddy was a nuisance, or Daddy, like, if everyone knew Daddy was a nuisance, why didn't anyone step in, right?
Yeah.
So we talk about mental health. Like, imagine being, let's say 13, 14 years old, and you lose your first friend, then you lose your father, then you lose your best friend, then you lose your mother.
Right.
I was like that. I lost when I was younger, so I connected them differently because I know what it was like to lose and not even be able to, like, say how I felt.
Right.
Because I didn't even know how to comprehend what was really going on around me. So much was happening, and he was living to survive.
That's
He
it.
had to go in survival mode because by the time he lost his mom, you lose yourself. Because when I lost my mom in high school, I lost myself. So, like, I connected with him a little bit different because I understand. Like, imagine being 14, 15 years old and losing that much at a young age, and nobody really listened to you.
And nobody listens to you.
So it's like you become your own little man. You become a man.
He
You
started
got-
working at Drew's to sweep the floor to make money. He started working at this other store.
He's selling
He
the
sold
water.
waters,
Yeah.
like,
I
and
mean,
then he had,
this was our next Mr. Baker. You know,
really,
our
if somebody
next
would have
Mr.
picked
Baker.
him up,
Yeah,
I used
it
to give
was-
him $20. Like, here, get some more cases. There'll be a couple of them. Get some more. Like, they was really just to get candy, to get food, and to fix the bike, make sure he got gas. So it was already there. He was an entrepreneur.
He definitely was an
Young
entrepreneur.
entrepreneur.
You know?
These kids just need outlets, they need guidance, and they need people who look like us that care.
When we talk about therapy, so when they talk about in the schools, like, they got mental health. When we talk about mental health, we're talking about the ones that look like us. To talk to these kids who walk to school, they see a dope fiend. Somebody sent me a picture of the dope fiend just laid out in a thing on Homewood Avenue. So, like,
Yeah.
you really, like, this, we didn't see that, bro.
We didn't. And they made sure
We
didn't see
ain't
it.
see
didn't
that.
even hear. We didn't know when our parents was depressed and stressed out. We just thought, oh, mom's mad, but we didn't know about
She drinking
stressed
her ass
out.
out.
Yeah,
She
she's
drinking
Why
like
Johnny
fuck.
got these
Smoking.
colorful balloons in his mouth? Maybe he just liked balloons. We didn't know. We wasn't taught that. Now the kids know everything at a young age.
Mental illness is so real. People think that mental illness is like, oh, you gotta be sick, you gotta be this crazy guy. No, mental
Or you
illness
gotta
is
look
like
abnormal.
domestic violence.
It teaches
know
you
what
how to
I mean?
cope. Like, it
verbal
gives you
abuse. You know what I'm saying? We all might have went through that in a relationship or something.
That gives you coping skills. Cause, like, even me growing up, I went through all day. They went through all my life, and you're told to never tell what goes on in this house. Like, we was brought up like that. Like, the fuck happens in here, you know? And you knew when I leave y'all home, don't open that fucking door.
Yeah.
Don't answer that fucking phone.
Come on.
No, you can't go out and play with your friends until I get off work.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, for me, I went through that. Like, and nobody never stopped. Knew I was a hoop. Nobody never stopped. Like, yo,
How old was you?
No, my mom was 18. I was 18 when my mom passed, so I was in the streets like
Right.
already. But I was still in high school, so when I lost my mom, it just was like, yo, I started drinking.
Thinking that was just
Whatever
gonna
college
help you
dreams
cope.
or whatever,
Yeah.
that was out the door because you
I
wasn't
started
there
drinking.
mentally.
I started robbing mugs, robbing stores, robbing people.
And
But-
we all got someone close to us or just doing some type of drinking or smoking because they thinking that's solving the problem.
And where did that take you? Like, sis?
Survival mode, nigga. Like, I already grew up, like, without having lights, gas, and water. I used to go steal clothes, like, to just be able to dress. Like, there were so many things I did, you know what I mean? Like, even my situation with my wife, when my wife overdosing, like, nobody knew I was dealing with this battle with her.
Right,
Because I
that's a
still
lot.
came outside and I carried
You had a
myself.
smile on your face, making think
Right.
everything's cool.
And still blessing the community as much as I can.
Right,
and that's
right.
why I became a respected leader, because people was like, well, dang, she was really dealing with that shit with her woman. Like,
Yeah, but how do you hold strong like
and
that?
that's when, like, when
I was
Still
going
able
to
to go
therapy.
to your friend's house and keep them strong when they
outreach
lost
to
their
you,
kids.
And that's
telling
what I was
somebody
doing.
what they need to do.
doing my
but-
back to school drives.
Yeah.
But you got
Like-
all this on your back, like, do you
I
talk
go to therapy
you
now.
go to
Oh
the-
yeah,
cool.
I've been in therapy for like 7 years now.
Does it help a lot? Because I feel it helps.
So
people.
many things, man. There's so many situations I would have handled different if I wasn't going there
Right.
and getting myself. Like, I don't really drink.
Yeah.
I might take a couple shots here and there,
But it ain't like how
It's
you
more
used to.
sociable than anything.
And I
It
was
ain't
drinking
like-
so much when my woman was using. Everybody just knew Amber's totaling cars, man. She keep crashing cars. She just did. Like, y'all didn't know I was drinking the coke to deal with this shit with my woman.
Right.
And so, you know what I mean? Like, we was both, like, enabling the other, because she would be like, here, take the car so I could go out so she could do what she do while I'm out. Because
Right.
she knew I wasn't with that shit.
Right,
you know
right.
What
I mean, at the time though, when she was doing it, did you have somebody to talk to about?
Yeah,
her?
therapy. I was going to therapy, but it was like I was still slipping depression. Like, I wasn't consistent with my therapy. And the beautiful thing about my therapist, shout out Erica Upser, is
What's up?
that she stuck with me. But she learned my patterns, and she knew, like, if Amber missed therapy and she don't even call me or nothing, Troy must have done, you know what I mean? Troy must have started using again. So she kind of was able to tell, and she just worked it out with me, you know what I mean? It was rough, but like these last 5 years, like I might have missed one appointment, if that. I take it
that's
serious.
what's up. You got to.
Like I was just telling Twin, on Sundays, people be calling me. Some people get mad at me for setting boundaries, but on Sundays, my phone is on Do Not Disturb.
You gotta have some time for yourself.
Because I'm off Sundays and Mondays, so like I take in addicts. Because I don't look at addicts like, oh, they dirty. No, I hug them.
right.
You need
They're
a dollar.
just like
yeah.
us.
Yeah, right.
And
And
your,
they somebody.
your
them is our
addiction might be
people.
different from
Yeah,
my
I
addiction.
got an addiction. It just ain't their addiction.
Mine's
Like,
just weed.
no.
That
Everybody know
person
mine's
used
is
to
weed.
be somebody.
I got
Yeah.
weed,
And
I
still
drink.
is somebody.
And I tell people that, like, with Ann and Man, I be like, man, y'all be sitting up here talking about buying a block. Do y'all even know who she is?
Yeah, right.
She owned Rosedale and Tioga, flat out.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But she became a victim of her own drugs, you know, her dealing. What happens with most people who start selling heroin. But I still respect her as my OG.
Right,
Yeah.
She asked me for a cigarette. Come on, we're going to get you a pocket square.
Exactly.
But
Because
you're
when I
not
couldn't
wrong.
be lesbian and I couldn't be out because it wasn't cool.
Right, right.
Right? So it wasn't cool to be out. I had OG Ann at her crib. Right here with our Family Dollar is at East Hills.
Right.
She lived in an apartment complex. I had my own room there. I had a place to go where I could just be like,
Be you.
be me.
you.
Yeah, and
But
like,
now that it's open with it now, you start seeing a lot of, like, I ain't gonna say fake ones, but it ain't like, even though you wasn't open with it back then, it was like when people say, all right, Amber,
I was open with it, but I just couldn't tell my family because you thought you would get. Yeah, it wasn't
It
shocking.
wasn't
shocking,
want them to
like-
look at you anyway.
No, your family was kicking you out of your homes back then. It
yes.
wasn't as
Right.
acceptable. Like, and that's what
Exactly.
I tell the youngins. Like, y'all be talking about you ain't got no problem. Imagine not being able to go to your prom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's some shit.
You put up, y'all get to go to your prom.
Right.
Yeah.
Girl now. Like, we
Right.
wasn't allowed.
To
Y'all
do
played
that, yeah.
sports. I wanted to play football.
Well, a lot of people was real secretive.
You wearing
Yeah.
you wearing woman haircuts and the bamboo earrings like you really like that shit. I don't like that shit. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
You got, because you had to conform to the ways of the people.
Right,
And my
exactly.
grandmother was a preacher, so like my family, you know what I mean? I come from a very Christian background. You know,
Right,
it's
right.
with me though too.
So going through that when you was younger, like now that you're older, how did your family treat you? Is it any different?
Oh, I'm trying to build relationships, so that's when we talk about like generational trauma. So like with my family, me and my brother, we hadn't spoke since I've been home from prison, and we finally actually really, you know, I'm gonna be transparent all the time. So we started getting together like over the summer. He came, he stayed at my crib for like 3-4 days. We went to the movies, and we trying to like
Build a
build
bond.
because he didn't speak to me because he thought I wanted to be a man. That's why I said I come from a Christian background. So my initial response from him thinking I want to be a man was, why didn't you ask me? Something was wrong. I was being touched.
Right.
Yeah.
I was being touched and nobody's seen it.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, y'all was so worried about me being something against something I shouldn't be, but I was being molested.
Then dig into why.
Yeah,
that
why?
is-
Nobody, everybody always got an excuse, but nobody got to why somebody do something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I had to go in survival mode in that aspect too.
Right.
No, I don't want no boyfriend. When I did, when I said no and stopped, so like it's a lot. And my brother, he asked me to forgive him.
Right.
And we working on it. So it's about, like, I feel like it stopped with me. I'm trying to get, like get my family together
Right.
instead of being funeral.
But
Inshallah,
you know what?
things is gonna
It's
get
never
better,
too
you know?
late. You know
No.
what I'm saying? It's never too late. And sometimes right now, I found out.
I'm gonna go to my family though.
Yeah.
Now I was the bad guy.
You'll see
I'm
that.
the good guy
Everybody
The
knows
now.
younger
you.
ones is starting to step up more than the older ones. You know what I'm saying?
And really be ready to like check on that mental health. That's a real piece.
During your time in incarceration, right? Did you see a lot of women dealing with depression or like mental illness? Was it a lot?
I mean, if I was to say it now, because I really wasn't going through no treatment or mental health, no
Right.
therapy or nothing there, but if I was to look back, I would say, yeah.
Hell
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
right, yeah.
that some of them women, I ain't had no kids, so some of them women were getting calls that their child had got murdered. Some of them women was getting calls that their child was in jail now. You know what I mean? Like that generational, the moms there, the dads, they're not a
And
child,
they're like,
pick
yeah,
it
I
up.
can't be there to help. I'm in here like that, so they start feeling bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it was easy. I think it was easier for me to get through my bid because I didn't have no kids.
Okay, yeah.
You know
So
what I mean? But I was
alright.
losing people.
The times we growing up, like, you know, a lot of violence, we was dealing with a lot of violence and stuff. And now Pittsburgh got a lot of violence going on. A lot of more younger generation involved with more guns now involved. Like, so, I mean, I know Chicago is a high rate,
But we had
Yes.
too, if you look at the numbers.
even though we're not a big city.
You think the city's gonna go like where Chicago's going? Like,
Well, I don't think we'll never have that many homicides. The rates won't be the same because in a given weekend they get 50 shootings.
Is it
Right.
possible for
But when you look at the per 100 in Pittsburgh, like per 100 amount of people that live here and how many homicides, and then you look at Chicago and you see the per 100,000, you see the homicides, it's because they got more people. It seems like it's a lot, but we are really at an alarming rate for
Right.
like where we come from, the
Right.
small places. Like I think we averaging, I was trying to figure out, was it like 2 shootings a week or something?
yeah, it might be more now.
Homewood, last I checked, because I tried to keep up with it, we was at, that's when it was like, we had 6 homicides in Homewood, and it was a total of 13. Like, we was at, that's how high, we had more than half, and then, they got killed. So it's like, I think we had probably about 16, but it's very high.
Can we see Pittsburgh getting better?
I don't believe in over-policing the community. And so for me, when we say stop the violence, you can't stop the violence with violence. And that means there's not even a relationship with the community and the police. Like,
Right.
when it comes, like, the people we be around, like, they're not, people, I'm going to stay away from that a little bit. I don't want to get to it. Yeah. But I don't believe in over-policing the community. I don't think that'll stop the
I
violence.
think
It does
we need to
nothing
police
but make them.
ourselves. I think we need to just
Like,
secure
I put a
ourselves.
post
That's
up
how
like
it
the
used to be.
OGs. What's up? Y'all ready to go outside, hit the blocks? That's
It's time for us. It's time for us to
think-
work.
I think-
It ain't
I
no
think-
more talking.
Ain't no,
It's
I
time
mean,
for
we
us to
got the
work.
mad dads doing it, but them kids don't pay no mad. We could get our
We
own air
need
of it.
our faces. We don't have to look like them. We don't have to put a suit on.
Think-
We don't have to be at these corporate meetings. We can have our own meetings. We can get a spot here, a spot there, and we can create our own meetings.
Yeah.
How
Step
we
up
can do,
and
and we
the
start with
political-
something little. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why we gotta
Start
keep
stepping
sitting
up.
around waiting for some
pennies.
type of political
And
meeting to
letting
come
them
to?
know us Africans can run the country.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so I don't understand that.
Because it's going to take us to stop us. Ain't no police officer. It's going to take us, like, really getting down in these trenches.
Yeah.
Like, talking to these niggas. Like, yo, like I seen my godson, like, literally, before you called me, my godson was in there, and I was like, I ain't never think I have to tell someone I'm thankful they got shot.
Yeah.
Because he hung with Day Day and them, you know what I mean? But when he got shot, it changed his mind instantly. You know what I mean? And so that's why I think I feel the way I feel about Day Day. Like, I wish he would have just got another chance.
Yeah.
I think he would have, like, I think that would have been the thing that, you know what I mean? Maybe
See,
it
it's
could have.
different now. Like
Back then, there was only a couple people who was like really about that. Now everyone's about that. Everybody's
Cause everybody
trying to
get high on
prove
them pills.
yeah, and it makes them emotional. So
Yup,
you can be in
they
an argument.
emotional?
Yeah, they be real emotional. You can be on the internet like "fuck you, nigga," "fuck you," da 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 da, and they
They
take
don't
that
kill a
emotional.
girl,
And they'll kill anybody.
But my thing is, how do you kill your baby mom?
Yeah,
Or like that's
you
some
build
different
that
type
much
shit.
hate, but
But
that
that's
pill,
some pills
that
too,
pill
though.
make them go an
They
extra
be, and they
mile.
on everybody on
There's
fentanyl.
always
Fentanyl.
gonna be rules and regulations. You just gotta take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like you said, that it's stuff in them pills, them fake pills.
Everybody's addicted to fatty at this
Yeah,
point.
so now they can't get the pill, they do a bag. You know what I'm saying? They gonna
Then
smoke
once
that
they do a bag, now
It's-
all the robbery rate. You see how they rob and everything.
that's some real shit. Like,
They took remember when they was when they was giving the PUA and the PPP, motherfuckers was talking shit. But if you really sit back and look, when they was giving that money out in that period of time, everybody was happy, dog.
Yeah,
Niggas
everybody-
wasn't shooting nobody. Niggas was like,
Niggas
I'm going
was
on a
hanging with
flight.
their enemies
I'm getting
and
they going out of town. You out of town.
I got Gucci, you got
Kids
Gucci.
Nobody was upset though. Like the kids had their own food stamp card.
Right.
The mom didn't have to, cause they was getting their own stimulus to the
Everybody.
kids. So it's like
Right.
everybody was eating, and then you snatched a plate from up under, and now this is what you get.
Yeah, but they didn't take advantage of that PUA
That
money.
too.
Nobody invested into nothing. You know what I'm saying? They act like they
I
had a
told
business,
people
but
that
they didn't have a
invested in me.
business.
Yep. And so it's like when they was giving out money, I say that to say like it's poverty.
Yeah.
When you get done with it, like they was giving out money, nobody didn't think they was in poverty, so they had money. So it shows you
Poverty equals violence
all day.
all day.
As a community leader, a voice for the community, for the urban lives, you know what I'm saying?
They black lives, fuck not.
What do you what major changes do you think it's going to take?
What major
This-
changes?
What major changes in the community that you think?
We got to get enough mental health services. It's gonna take that's what's gonna
That's
take to
number
change
one,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. And then two, like you can't tell somebody stop selling drugs and don't have anything to give them.
No stipend.
There's
no
nothing
food
like you
card,
can't. You
nothing.
ain't even tell them if you complete this, if you take this CDL, bro, I'll get you a truck and I'll get you a year's worth of gas. If you could, like, you can't tell a man
To get off the streets from his family.
who's barely making it even doing that, because we know it ain't a lot of money out there.
It
no
ain't
more.
no money out there. I don't know
So
why they
how do
it.
you tell a grown man like you gotta get out this school? Like no, you gotta be able to provide him with a resource.
When you telling him to leave, have him leave to come here and give him some type of motivation, like damn, I might could quit.
There y'all have it, man. Amber Sloan, the Twinz. You know what I'm saying? Just touching on some real issues right now. You know what I'm saying?
Some real life issues.
Young
you know what I'm
world and adults, if y'all going through something, you know what I'm saying? And you know all of us right here, but if there's some loved ones close to you that you can talk to, reach out to, just call and just tell
Just
them how
check
you
on
feeling.
somebody.
Just check on someone.
Speak up. You know what I mean? Because you're looking at three OGs right here, and best believe it wasn't hard. It was hard for us when we was young to speak up, but we speaking up now and hoping that you see
We took our
faces.
voice back, and we want y'all to take your voice
Yeah,
back.
we want you to take
Learn
your voice
from
back.
our experiences.
You know, you can't talk to your mom, you can't talk to your dad. Talk to
Talk
one
to
of us.
me. They already
Call
know they
me.
could talk to me. They be pulling up
DM
on
me, inbox me or something.
Hey, you be surprised what some of these youngins is going through. Though,
Oh,
man.
man,
They be
I hear
hitting me
it.
up. One of them small said, "I'm glad Rosen's is closed."
Yeah.
Cause my mom.
I'm glad
or
Rosen's
other
is closed.
like they mom would go out and come home drunk.
Yeah.
Like they literally like some of these kids, and it takes a minute for them to get comfortable.
And then it make you not hate, but make you mad at some of the owners. But how the hell you gonna be mad at the bar owners? This is how they feed your family. Then how you gonna be mad at somebody that's grown?
I used to
Going
get
in and out
mad
these
at
places.
certain family members why they drink or why they do certain things they do. But I looked and realized like I didn't even take the time out to even ask what was going on.
Yeah.
I didn't even call and check up.
Yeah, I
And
did.
that's the biggest
You know what I'm
thing. Like
saying?
we be
Like-
thinking somebody's okay because they smile,
Yeah,
but
They're
like,
not okay.
Bro, what
They
you
not.
doing? Unc, what you doing? Like, what you gonna go out? You gonna do it? But me, why they going through something? And I ain't even
Yeah.
asked them because I'm all being selfish.
A lot of us be
Like,
selfish
oh damn, nigga, I
sometimes.
can't even reach out to me. And like, in the whole time, a motherfucker is down there barely making it.
Yeah, but it took you so long to get to that little bit of happiness. So as soon as you see a little bit of stress or somebody with a problem, you try to hurry up and walk away.
Well, we gotta
like
be able to
sometimes you gotta
listen.
really deal with that pain too. Like,
I'll be listening to, like, on the ad, when I listen to the addicts, I listen to them. They be
Yeah.
like, I just want a foundation, Amber. And when I go to these meetings, I say, they just want a foundation. Provide, they got a home to go to, but they rather be out there. So if she says she need a foundation, what can you provide for her to give her a foundation?
right. And it's time for whoever, what organizations is getting them millions of dollars and hundreds of dollars. Come on.
Step up and do the
Step
work.
up. Let's get some stipends. Give you some stipends. Give me some stipends. And we can really like, here, I got 30 people over here that I know. You know what I mean? And I can probably bring them to the table. And these 30 people can probably help make a
Or
change.
support these brothers and they cut hair, they mobile with it.
You know,
Yes.
right over a mobile service. Get out of
Right.
this. You know
Don't
what I'm
forget
saying?
So
that.
if y'all got organizations that, you know, give them a little stipend and let them
You know,
come cut the kids'
We're
hair.
consultants. You know
Y'all
what I mean?
need
We consult with
mentor
the knowledge.
outreach. Y'all just
Yeah.
need some good leadership. Man, y'all got Amber.
You know what I mean? But
Know what I'm
we
saying?
all help each other. So we're all here together. So organizations out there, if you need Amber, your face, you need the Twins face, we're here.
We're here. We're a team.
here.
We're a movement.
You know what I'm saying? And we're about to wrap it up. And I just want to give shout outs to the city, to the communities, and all the people who care. I'm giving shout outs to you. You know what I mean? I love y'all. You know what I'm saying?
R.I.P. Day Day.
R.I.P. to
The
all
The show
our
is
loved
dedicated
ones,
to
our
Day
lost
Day for
ones.
me, y'all.
And shout out to the homies and the females in the prisons.
You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
Can't forget them.
We might have a part two.
All right, hold up. What's up?
Before we get out of here, Amber, tell us about Made It. I see it on your hat and your shirt. That's your nonprofit, right?
Yeah, so that's my organization. So Made It is called Making Alternative Decisions Effectively Impacting Teens. So while I was incarcerated, I used to sit around, like, there was a group of us, and like we was like, man, when we get out of here, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. So I was locked up with some of the people that was down with Black Mafia family, you know what I mean? So I was around other bosses anyway, so we was all bosses type. We felt like, so we was sitting around like, man, what we gonna do when we get out and shit. So I was like, man, I'm going back to the hood and change the hood. And then, so everybody was like, what you gonna do? She was, I'm gonna do a salon, I'm gonna do, and like everybody's literally doing re-entry, everything we said. And I was like, man, I'm going back to the hood. And I sat in my cell one night, and I was just doing an acronym, and I wrote Made It, and I was like, I came up with it, and I was like, that's gonna be the name of my shit when I get out.
That's dope.
And I've been rolling with it. I've been home 10 years, May 17th.
That's a blessing.
10 years I've
She's
been out.
dedicated. She's consistent. What she do, y'all. You know what I mean?
And
Staying
don't
true.
conform, stay true to who you are.
Yeah.
And if you plan on making it, get with Made It. Like, come on, get with Amber, y'all. You plan
Right.
on making it out here. You know what I'm saying?
You can always look us all
I
up
gotta get
on
my
Facebook,
story out there. These
Instagram,
guys help me.
whatever.
Everybody think I'm just an activist, so these guys help me. So a lot of people didn't really know what like Made It meant. So you know what I mean? Like I do want people to understand. Like I'm an activist. I'll get out there about anything, but for most of all, I'm a OG at
I feel
home.
like,
I'm
you know, the years we put in and out, people need to see that. You know, we all got different stories with us. No matter
Right.
how much time you put in, we still here and we still connected to the community and
Right.
the minds of the community. And we just trying to connect and reach out more. You know what I'm
And
saying?
youngers, if you got any goals out there, you want to achieve them, just want to do the right thing and moving forward, man. You always have
They
that
might can
network.
teach y'all how to be
You just got to know
barbers.
the opportunities, man.
Mentors.
Y'all might help them how to be barbers. A kid might have a dream of wanting to be
Hey.
a barber.
Holler at the Twins. I don't mind getting a one-on-one. I don't mind teaching 20 kids at one time. Y'all
I
wanna learn how
appreciate you, Amber,
barbering?
for being on this
Appreciate y'all.
show.
I got
And
you.
I love you.
I appreciate y'all for having me. When I
Oh,
seen you, I was like, bro,
love you.
whenever y'all need me, I'm here.
And you see how quick we moved on that thing,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
this
We
is
really
just something we do
appreciate
on the
you.
regular. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
But we're here to help each other, though.
You got your homie Twinerprise.
Celebrity Barberrahim. Real
Yeah.
talk with the Twins.